So here, the main agenda of this session is basically for you guys to get an idea of how this Discord server for this TRC winter of code is working, because we had some issues regarding people verifying themselves. By verifying, what I mean is that it's basically a small process which you guys have to go through in order to see the messages in the Discord server and in order to contribute to the projects. Okay, like just a prerequisite. And this will not be thought by me, it will be thought by our very own Discord server moderators. So if you're new to Discord means you should definitely focus on what we'll be telling in the next few minutes. And after that, we'll be showing you a demo on how to work with GitHub. Okay, so we'll be showing you exactly how to work with the GitHub. And if you are completely new means we can even show you how to create an account in GitHub, and then how to push a contribution. Okay, like how you contribute code to the project. And of course, what the project is about, like this is for the open source data preprocessor project, what the project is about, and how you contribute to the project. And one good thing about this project is that this is more simple tech stack. Okay, like mainly the language which we'll be using here is Python. And related to the AI part, there is very minimalistic AI part, which again I will be teaching you guys in upcoming sessions. So this session, consider it to be a starting point for this winter of code. Okay, so you basically will get a good idea about what exactly is data preprocessing, how to verify yourself in Discord, and some of the important features in the GitHub Discord server, and how to make simple contributions in GitHub, and how this GitHub contribution, GitHub pull requests, and all those things work, and how GitHub and Git, like these are the two important technologies we'll be using throughout winter of code. Not only this will help you in contributing to this particular project, to all the projects you need to know this technology. Okay.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. So today, I'm just gonna show you how to get your Discord set up and how you can proceed with the event. So is my screen visible as of now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, what was that?
Can you record this meeting if it's possible? It'd be useful for me to refer to it later.
Yeah, it is being recorded, bro. Don't worry. Yeah, we're recording it, then we'll
Yeah, this
upload to
meeting is
YouTube for
recorded.
others people to.
Yeah, this meeting is recorded.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so basically, when you guys click the Discord join link, this is what you'll be met with. So it'll pop you into our guidelines, and our guidelines basically has a outline of how you can join our Discord. So like how to complete the verification process for Discord. So I'll quickly guide you guys through it. Basically, you guys will receive this DM message from our bot, and this DM message will have a complete verification icon on it. And when you guys click the icon and go to the site, it'll take you to the verification site. So we'll show you guys how to do the verification process. Like how the verification process will go is you click the complete verification and we'll take you to the site, right? Once you go to the site, you click the verify button. When you click the verify button, it will show you a small captcha where you can, 1 second, guys, 1 second. Click complete verification. Basically, it'll ask you first to authorize the account. So right now, I will be switching to my yeah, okay. So when we click this authorize, like when we log into our Discord account. When we click authorize, it will take us to this page. And in this page, it will ask you to verify. And when you click verification, it will give you a small captcha, and you can click the captcha and get and once you've done the captcha, you can return to your Discord, where you now will be verified and be able to access the whole server as a whole. So after verification, you'll have access to our, so like now you can see my account, and I can access these channels like roles and discussions, right? So the discussion channels are where we basically communicate to you guys. Like we've already had previous bunch of discussions, but still there are like about 150 of you guys who are left to verify. This Discord is where most of our operations are done for this open source event, since it's a pretty big event, like having at least like 300, 400 participants. So once you guys get verified, you click on roles and pick whatever domains you like. So right now, I'm interested in the AI domain and also web development. So I've picked up those domains. You guys can pick whatever other domains you guys prefer. So I've already explained the discussion channels, and this is where you guys can come talk to us. Be feel free to do whatever here. The query channel is where we'll be taking queries for you guys. So like if I open a ticket here, it'll take me to an additional thread where you guys can talk to us, the moderators, and discuss any issues you have. And once your issue has been resolved, we'll close the ticket and we'll move on. Like so, the issue will be resolved. And this is basically a private chat with us where you only the moderators and you will be able to discuss things. Next, we'll move on to like the projects. So, like for example, right now the web dev projects. These are a few web dev projects. And let's say I want to be involved in MERN templates. It's pretty good project as of now. So I click the emoji associated with it, which is this one, and it'll give me access to the MERN template channel where you guys can discuss with the project admin himself and go to their GitHub repo link and access their own GitHub pages and all that, and start contributing to the event. So this is basically how you guys use our Discord and go to different channels and access different projects and try or like and have fun at the event basically. So if you guys have any other doubts, you can ask me right now. Any doubts, guys, on how to get verified or anything else? If
Guys,
that's all.
This step is really important because if you are not verified means you can't view any messages in the project channels. Like as you can see here, this is the main source of communication. Like we do have WhatsApp groups, that is true, but here only we can we share the project GitHub links and all the other necessary links. This is really important step.
Discord is a place where you guys can get direct access to talk to the project admins or us moderators or people of the community, and also meet other people. Is WhatsApp, you guys can't really communicate all that well, but Discord gives you like really wide opportunity to talk to all the people. So are you guys sure you guys don't have any other doubts?
Hey, can you please share the Discord link in the group, WhatsApp group?
Okay, no, you share it again, Abhinav, no problem.
Yeah, okay, I'll share it again. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll share it again. Don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that it's not been shared yet.
It should have also come in your email if you guys have registered to our Google, like the Teams. Should have come in your email. Just make sure to check your emails because we send regular emails to the registered email. Right. Is that all the doubts, guys?
I think it is shared.
Okay, then that's yeah. You can continue.
Okay, I think that should pretty much settle everything. So, am I audible, everyone?
Yes, bro.
Yeah, okay. First things first, I'll.
Darshan, bro, I'd like to interrupt in between. Like, moreover, like if any of you face issue regarding Discord verification after that, kindly raise it through the Google form shared on the community. It would be easy for us to like verify you instead of like you reaching each individual moderators to WhatsApp.
Yeah. See, because one thing why we are asking you to be active in both Discord and WhatsApp is because since I assume that most of the people are beginners here, you will definitely have common issues, and it is very difficult for the moderators as well as for me. I mean, consider it. It would be much easier, right, if all of your responses are aggregated in one single place. If we clarify the doubt at the same time, means it will be easier for all of you to operate and contribute in this event. Like rather than us clarifying the same doubt for number of people, if you could post it in Discord, we answer that question, means the other person who gets the same doubt will be able to simply look into the Discord or the queries section where Abhinav said just now and get the solutions. So in order to get the fullest out of this event, I want each and every one of you guys to ask even the most dumb questions, and there is nothing. Please first come to that mindset. Like I really want all of you guys to come into that mindset. This event is specifically targeted for beginners, and do not worry by seeing big terms like open source contributions. No, this we will be helping you. See, this entire Discord server, apart from hosting events, hosting projects and events, the main reason it's here is to clarify doubts, because we have this much server announcement, guidelines, code of conduct, and we have this queries page. All of this is designed to help you guys learn. That is one major part of this event. The other part of this event is to make you guys contribute to open source, or basically in very simple terms, add code to an already existing project or modify code which is already existing in a project. So that is what this event about. Winter of Code is an open source contribution event. Here there will be a lot of people, there will be multiple projects. You get to pick a project. You can either add code or modify code in that project if it improves the project. Okay, so I hope what this event meaning is pretty clear at this point. Okay, and if you have any doubts related to projects, if it's general doubts, you put it in that queries channel. The Discord moderators or any one of us will answer your queries. For example, let's say that you have trouble verifying yourself. That is a general question more than a project based question. So that means you can put it in the discussions or the queries channel, and the Discord moderators or myself will be available to help you if it's related to a particular project. So I think, wait, I'll share my screen. So I hope my screen is visible, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So if it's related to a project, means what I want everyone to do is basically go ahead. So this is the general AI projects. Here you can choose which projects you want. So for example, right now, project which I am the project admin is this open source data preprocessing library, which I'm happy to say a lot of you guys have opted for this one. And another thing is that this project requires, okay, I'll make notes at this point. So I'll be uploading this text file. So consider this like sort of lecture notes. Okay. And don't worry, not too much lecture. We'll pretty soon get hands-on with how to create a GitHub account and all this cool stuff. So this is a data pre-processing. Okay, pre-processing library. So what is the objective of pre-processing your data? So by pre-processing data, you basically make data in a more suitable or cleaner format. Okay. So let me tell you regarding this. Okay, I'll show you an example here. So yeah. So this is exactly data pre-processing. So in data pre-processing, we do mostly we will do all of this stuff. Again, do not worry, this will be discussed in sessions. And by the way, for asking a session or if you have any doubts, the go-to place for this particular project is this repo right here. Okay. So what you can simply do here is, if you have any general doubt, you can either tag me. So this is my Git the Discord ID. So you can tag me and just post a sample doubt. So for example, sample doubt and how you do things. Like for example, how to learn matplotlib. But again, all these things, it will be taught to you. Don't worry about that. Okay. And in case you're getting stuck with errors, means try uploading image files or screenshots of your error. Okay. So that is important, because if you ask your doubts in a better and clear or precise way, it will be easier for us to solve. And you just simply put a tag here to me, or even if you think everyone needs to know this because it's a common issue, you can put at. So see, you can tag this much people. So here, I think I'll tag at everyone. Okay. So at everyone means basically all of the people here will be notified of your message. Or if you're very particular about this, about tagging me alone, you can tag me like this. Okay. So similar to a WhatsApp tag only.
One more
This
thing,
is how
like,
you.
excuse me, like, sorry to interrupt. Everyone can't like other users can't tag everyone in the group. That might cause spam. So I disabled it personally. So that is not an option.
Okay, cool. Okay. So yeah. So that means that at everyone will not work, right? Or is it what you meant?
Yeah, as you are an admin, it will work for you. Like for others, it will not work.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, guys. So just one clarification here. You just tag me alone. In case I have any announcements, means I will put an at everyone tag. Okay. So for example, this poll and this messages, I want every one of you guys to read it. So that's why I put at everyone. So please ask a lot of doubts here. So that's why I put this specific paragraph here. Please ask a lot of doubts here, because if you ask doubts, when I clarify your doubts, not only I will be the only person clarifying, even your fellow contributors will also be able to clarify. Okay. So because they might have ran into that same issues, or they might have worked with that library. They might have worked with that library before. So they will be able to help you as well. Okay. So to get the fullest out of this event, this page has to be active. And in case you are not comfortable asking in the group, means you can pretty much DM me. So you just click here and you can DM me alone. So I'll be the only person reading your messages. In case you are not that comfortable asking in the main page, but I would encourage personally everyone to ask in the main page, because others will also benefit from your doubts. Okay. So it's basically making data in a more suitable or cleaner format. And when it comes to the tech stack relating to this, first, let me talk about the language. So the language used here, that is, or in very precise terms, the programming language used here is Python. So is there anyone here, and I really need to know the answer for this, how many of you have some difficulty in Python? this is important. Like if anyone feels that they are little like they need more support in Python, let me know now itself. And there is nothing wrong about you guys not knowing Python. No worries. You just let me know. See, because if it's a lot of people means I will be taking Python as a session. If it's few number of people means I will personally contact them and guide them. So I hope you get my point. So okay, right. Raise your hands. I think that's more easier. So in case you are not familiar with Python or you think that you need a little guidance in Python. Okay. So the people who have raised their hands, you need a little guidance in Python, right? Am I right? So yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll wait for one more minute. Exactly. See, because you need proper foundations in Python. That is very essential for this thing. And of course, one more thing is that this the level of difficulty I'm telling you for this project, I'll put it here itself. So if you are good at Python, or if you are even if you know the fundamentals of Python, you will be able to contribute to this project. Like it's not like that MERN stack templates or the other web dev projects or blockchain projects that require you to have more in-depth tech stack about web development or development in general. Okay, so basic Python is enough, and the libraries which we will be using. So wait, I'll see how much of you guys have raised it. Okay, so easily there are around 8 to 10 people, I assume. Okay, so I'll be keeping a separate session for this because I think 8 to 10 people seems like a very good strength. So I'll be keeping a separate session, and do not worry, this will be simple Python only, because this project has been designed specifically for beginners. Okay, so you can lower your hands. I just wanted an idea regarding how many of you guys wanted a session in Python. So thank you for raising your hands. So yeah, please lower your hands, guys. So that's one thing. And the libraries which we will be using is basically NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. I'll be explaining shortly what each of these libraries do. Scikit-learn. No, not even Scikit-learn. Yeah, this is enough. And this is for the beginner part. Okay, so I'll be more easy. So we have 3 levels of contributions here. Okay, so we'll start with basic contributions. We will be dealing with only pure Python. Okay, so pure Python functions. And then after that, if you want to go to the intermediate level, we'll be using NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib. Okay, and for the advanced contributions, we'll be using TensorFlow. So I'll explain what each one does. So NumPy is basically an Python library which is used for working with arrays. So arrays is basically this. So this is an array. So an array in Python would look something like this. Like it's basically a list, but with the same. But all elements have the same data type. So yep, this is NumPy. Pandas is basically Pandas is a library for data frames. So by data frames, it basically means tables. Okay, and Matplotlib is a Python library, and of course all of these are Python libraries. So from a syntax POV, this will be manageable. So Matplotlib is basically a library for visualization and plotting graphs. Wait, I'll add 2 more libraries here. Of course, I'll be giving you an idea about what these libraries are. No need to panic. This is just a very high level overview of the project, because of course you need to know, right, what the project is before contributing to it. So this is scikit-learn. NLTK is just a natural language processing toolkit. This is another library. And scikit-learn is a machine learning library. Okay, so scikit-learn is a machine learning library. And TensorFlow is the most advanced form of contributions you can do, and that is a deep learning library. Okay, so these are the libraries. This is the programming language. And the other thing, of course, the other technologies is, of course, GitHub and Git. This we'll be demoing in a few minutes, like how to use GitHub and Git, because this is the tools for contributing. And according to the poll, some of you guys know GitHub beforehand, but there are still a lot of people who said that they would like to learn contributing in GitHub as well. So we'll look into GitHub as well. Okay, the first and also the types of data. Okay, so this is pre-processing library. So before that, I will just ask a question. Can any of you answer why do we need to pre-process data? Like, just give rough answers. Why would you think we need to pre-process data? Like, what's the point of us pre-processing data? Any idea regarding this? Anyone?
We will get the impactful insights after pre-processing the data.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, by getting better insights means we understand more from the data, right? Like, it's easy for us to understand the data. If we can only easily understand the data, we can gain insights from the data. So the first reason for us doing this thing in the first place, again, this is important because we need to know why this library exists in the first place. So we are this is pre-processing. And why is this called pre-processing? Because we are processing the data before giving it to AI models or doing data analysis. So by data analysis, like data analysis means you are basically trying to gain insights or information. I'll type it. Gain insights or information from the data. So this is data analysis. And for AI models, we need to pre-process data. So why we need to pre-process data means a model is like an AI model is like a human. Okay, so if you pre-process data, you are basically giving the model,
removing the, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, we remove the unwanted stuff, or we simplify the data. Like, for example, if the data is like super complex, we'll try to simplify it. We'll remove unwanted stuff, or we can add stuff which somehow makes the data more easier to understand. Like, these are some common operations we'll do in data. Again, we'll be discussing this. This is again a high level overview. So giving the model data which is easier to understand or simplified results in model performing better on the data, performing better. So an AI model is like a human, right? Like for example, if we just give a bunch of numbers to us and we try to analyze or find something from the data, we'll struggle, right? If the data is very bad, means we'll be struggling with, we won't understand what the data means, anything like that. Same for an AI model. So if you pre-process the data, or you basically simplify, clean the data before giving it to the model, it will have an easier time from it, from learning from it. Okay, so this is why you pre-process data. And the data formats which we will be working, so the data formats, that is in what formats we will get the data to pre-process. We'll be working, we'll be starting with tabular data, and then after tabular data we'll move to images, and from images we'll move to text, audio, and video. In this, audio and video are slightly advanced. Okay, I mean pretty advanced, to be honest. Audio and video. Tabular data and images are more of the beginner, and this is text is an intermediate one. So we'll be processing 5 types of data formats, and the structure is basically you have a library, and a library is basically a folder. In that you will be creating 5 Python scripts. Okay, 5 Python scripts, or by scripts I mean files. So one script for each of this. So for example, the first one will be, I'll be calling it tabular.py. The second one is data.py. Third one is images.py. And then text.py. Audio.py. And video.py. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts? Anything happen? Hello. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. So basically, our project structure will be like this. So we will be having 5 Python scripts inside this one folder, and this library is called as preprolib. Okay, pre-processing library, a very short form. And this is a naming convention in Python. Okay, so according to Python documentation, the libraries which we use in Python should be short names with lowercase letters. Okay, so that's why I followed the naming conventions as per the Python documentations. And but we have tabular.py, right? So this will basically have all functions related to pre-processing tabular data. And why? And similarly, this will have okay, this is not data. There's nothing called as data.py. My bad. So for example, tabular.py will have all functions related to pre-processing tabular data. Images.py will have all functions related to pre-processing image data. So we basically segregate, we keep separate scripts for all the different file formats. So basically, this is the 5 file formats we'll be working on. This is about the project structure. And once we complete with this project, or once this project has enough contributions, what we can basically do is an external person or some new person in their Python script, they can do something like this: import preproclib. Like once this project is done means, I'll put it here. If the project is done, and oh, by the way, I'll tell you now itself. Actually, this will never get finished, to be honest. Why will it never get finished, to be honest? It's because every day, if someone there is always scope for change in computer science. Okay, or at least when it comes to programming, there is always scope for change. you can keep on making changes. Like there will be, for example, Python would have come to like version 6. Like right now, the latest version of Python is 3.11. I'll check it once. So Python. Okay, cool. Right now it's 3.12. Yeah, here it is. So 3.12. For example, maybe 1 or 2 years later, they would have version 3.13, 14. You get my point, right? So as the technical landscape keeps on upgrading, the code should also upgrade. And for example, maybe 2 years later, a person can modify the code. That is basically he can replace the old code which is written in Python 3.12 to Python 3.14, like that. So that is why it is open for constant changes. So open source projects will always be updated. And sometimes what will happen in case if that library becomes completely obsolete, there will be no contributions and basically the project will be considered dead. So this is the two things which may happen in open source projects. So if this project has enough contributions, we can put something like import preproc lib as PPL preproc lib, and then PPL dot video. Let's say we want for a video thing. Okay, we want to preprocess video dot preprocess, and then we can pass a video file. So this is exactly what will happen once we get done with this project. And the main reason why I proposed with this project is because normally what will happen, this thing to process a video, you basically have to do a bunch of sequential steps, right? Like mostly pre-processing will involve a lot of sequential steps that instead of typing like let's say it will be around like 20 to 30 lines. So instead of you typing the 20 to 30 lines for all projects, we can bundle it into a single library or one line by doing this ppl.video.preprocessor. So this is the main objective of this project. Now we will take a look at Git and GitHub. So any questions regarding to this project? The necessary tech stack will be taught. Do not worry regarding that. As you can see from my explanation, fully Python based project, you have all sorts of difficulties when it comes to contributing. You can we'll be starting with the easy contributions. So that means basically in pure Python, and then we'll level up to NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and then we'll go to scikit-learn, NLTK, and all this crazy stuff. Okay. Do you have any doubts regarding this project? And
No,
how
sir.
we teach, it will be based on sessions. Yeah, sorry. Any doubts? Like I hope at least now you guys have an idea of what you're going to do.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, cool. So now we'll take a look at GitHub, Git contributions, what exactly contributes. So this is one part. Okay, so this thing, this project will basically consist of you doing two things. First, you learning data science and AI, and the second part is you making contributions to the repo. So before I move to the actual project repo, I first need to show you guys how to basically make contributions. And before we make contributions to the original project repo, we'll play with some dummy repos. Okay. So the first thing I want everyone to do is create a GitHub account. Please create a GitHub account. So GitHub is basically used for something called as version control. I'll write it here. So GitHub is used for version control. So what is version control? Version control is basically keeping, I mean, Git, not GitHub. Wait, I'll tell what is GitHub. So Git is a technology used for version control, which is basically keeping track of changes. So if you type Git here, I mean, not this one. Yeah. Control system that tracks changes in any set of computer files. Now, the reason why we track these changes is because in case if someone makes a bad change, or you make a change in your project and that somehow messes with the project, we can roll back or we can move to the previous versions of the project. So this is basically keeping track of changes. And this GitHub is a GUI or an interface for using the Git technology. So Git is something which is mostly done in the terminal. So Git is done in the terminal, while this is graphics or GUI based, graphical user interface based. So GitHub will be on the browser. So it will basically get information from the Git or the version control, and it will display the changes. So this is how a GitHub account will look like. This is a dummy account which I've created for this session purpose. And we'll be playing with this dummy account, and then we'll be moving to the tech researchers repo, where the project where the open source preprocessor library project exists. Okay, so what we can do is, so this is an overview. So what I'll do is I'll go to repositories. I hope you guys, okay, can you all please raise your hands who has not a GitHub account yet? This is again very crucial. It's like your Discord verification. It is very important that you guys have a GitHub account, because with Git, if you have a GitHub account only, you can basically contribute to any of the projects. Code contribution requires GitHub. If you do not have a GitHub account, go to github.com and fill in get an account immediately. You will be asked your Gmail ID. That's it. Or exactly, wait, I think this is better. I'll see if this comes. I'll sign out this for now. Yeah. So basically, this is the opening page. Okay. If you put sign up, you will be asked to put your mail, and then you will have a password, and then just set up a GitHub account. Okay. It's as plain and simple as that. So people, people who have not set up a GitHub. Okay. Thank you for raising your hands. People who do not have a GitHub account, kindly create one. So yeah. And in case, of course, you have any doubts regarding GitHub account or you're getting errors, means you can put it in our queries channel. So this channel exactly. So here, put hashtag queries. And then you can even open ticket, which like how Abhinav explained to you guys. So use this channel for doubts. Once you create a GitHub account, you will basically have a project repository like this. So for example, let me say that I will create a new repository, and by repository, it's basically a folder, sort of a folder like system in GitHub. Okay. So I'll create a new repository. How you create a new repository in GitHub is basically, this is your GitHub profile, right? So your GitHub profile will be like that. So an actual GitHub profile would look something like, wait, I'll show. This is my GitHub profile, which I'm going to show. So yeah, it would look something like this. So basically, you will have contribution. So this green things is basically contributing to your own repo. This is like your own profile. So like, for example, if you upload something to GitHub, you will have this green color marks, and the dark green color marks means, so for example, if it's super dark green means like this state. So for example, here 23 contributions. If it's light green means few codes you have contributed. So like that, it'll be like that. And you here you will have your repositories. Okay. So here repositories means basically a folder, and in that folder, for example, here you can put folders, files, and you will have a README file like this. So a README file will basically give you a brief introduction about the repository, like what this repository means. So for example, this code is to create a random smart contract lottery, like basically a lottery using blockchain. So this is an example. So and of course you can switch between accounts, or you can add accounts. So for example, this is my original GitHub account, and this is the dummy GitHub account which I have created. So to move to the dummy GitHub account, I'll click here, your profile. Okay. So now I'll create a new repository. A new repository, I will name it as dummy repo. And here you do not have this. For example, there are few restrictions naming this. For example, you cannot have spaces. Okay, like either it should be separated by underscores or hyphen. You will get this green color tick if you have keep a correct repo name. And in the description, I'll just put dummy repository to showcase how to make contributions. And then we have two options called public and private. So public means anyone can see, anyone in the internet can see this repository. So if a person gets to know your GitHub ID, what he can simply do is he can put github.com/your ID. And if I put this here means you will immediately go to your profile. Okay. So you can make it public or private. I'll keep it public itself, no problem. And then we will initialize this with a README file. Okay. So because I want people to know what this repository is about. And right now you do not need to know about git ignore and licensing. So licensing, one thing I'll tell about this license alone. So this is called as the MIT license. I will just show you what this license means. So the MIT license means basically you have very limited restrictions. Anyone can use your project. That is what is called as MIT license. And since this is open source, we'll keep our project even MIT license as well. So right now I'll just keep the license as none. Just know this term called as MIT license because you will run across this term a lot. Now I'll put create repository. Yeah, my dummy repo got created. There's a description I give. So any doubts regarding with creating a repository in GitHub? Any doubts, any questions? Like, I hope it was okay, cool. So yeah, very direct. You can simply just put go to your profile, go to repositories, new, fill in all the details, create repository. Okay. So what I can do now is I'll assume that I am logging out of this account. Okay. And I'm moving to my Getty script, that is the other account. So if I click this repo, okay, now I have this option called as forking. So what is forking a repository? So forking a repo. So forking means you taking the repo and making a copy for yourself, so that the changes you make in that repo does not damage the original repo. Okay. So this is what you called as forking. So if I put here a fork, let's say I create a new fork. So of course I can name this repository. So by default, when I'm forking the dummy repo, it will basically have the fork name as the same name. So dummy repo, and the description I'll give is I'll change the description to forked dummy repository to show how to make contributions, and I'll name this as a dummy fork. Okay. So now create fork. So what will happen is basically I have the same repository. I'm making a copy for myself. So you are basically telling that take this repository from Dark Prince 80, the dummy repo, and make a copy for yourself in my other GitHub account. Okay. So this is forking. The first step which you make is you fork the repository. After you fork the repository, we will be using VS Code. Okay. So VS Code is a code editor, and you can download VS Code for Windows by going here and using the .zip 64-bit version for Windows 10 and 11. Of course, you have it for Linux and Mac as well. This is the best code editor in the planet. Like almost the best code editor in the planet. I really like Visual Studio Code and definitely encourage you guys to use it. So once you open Visual Studio Code, what you can do is you will basically get this welcome screen. Okay. Then you open, you just go to View, Terminal, and I'll minimize this for now. So right now I'm in my C drive with my username. Okay. I will go to desktop. So this CD is a Linux command. So CD, Linux or Windows, it's for both, it's there. CD means move to mentioned directory. So what I'm doing here is, okay, first I'll close all my other repos. So I'll move to my desktop. Okay. So right now I am in my desktop after putting this CD desktop. Then I will create a folder for cloning my project. So I'll explain what is cloning. Do not worry. So I'll create a folder called as forked folder or fork folder project. Okay. So this make dir is a command for okay, I think I'll copy this command. Don't worry, this notepad file I'll share it. Like, don't worry regarding that. So this is make directory. So creates a new directory. Or by directory you mean folder. All. So first I move to desktop by putting CD desktop, and then I create a folder called as fork folder project. okay, by using this mkdir command. So once you have created this folder, you move to the folder, like the folder itself. So cd, the folder name. Once you move here, you put this command called as code dot. So code dot will basically open a new Visual Studio window in that particular folder itself. So here you have the fork folder project, this empty folder, and here your Visual Studio, Visual Studio Code editor has opened. Open VS Code with the particular folder. So once you are done with this, what you can do is you forked your repository, right? So now what I want here is that, wait, I'll go to the forked repository. So I forked the dummy fork repo, like from that dark prints 80, I have just forked this repository. So basically I made a copy for myself. Then what I'll do is, it is now pretty useless, right? Like right now it is in GitHub. I want to put it in the local computer so that I can make changes, I can code, or I can do other stuff, right? So for that, I will click this green button, code, and I will clone this repository. For that, I need this HTTPS link. So clone means copying the repo content into local system. So command for cloning a repo is git clone HTTPS link for the repo. So I hope this command is clear. So if I move to my Visual Studio, I'll go to View, Terminal. So now I'm in my fork folder project, that is this project. I put git clone. So this works, right? So if I put enter, cloning into dummy repo. So yeah, it copied all the stuff. So here I have a dummy repo fork folder, and inside I have my README file, which is basically dummy repository to showcase how to make contributions. So right now you have cloned, or you have basically took this code that was in GitHub and moved it to the local storage. Now I will make some changes to this thing. Okay, so I'll, for example, committed. So a commit is basically okay, I'll write it in the notepad itself. So you will be making changes and committing them to the Git. So I'll explain what exactly is that. So we have cloned the repository, right? Like using Git clone that HTTPS link we found. It created this dummy repo folder, repo fork, and of course I'll put cd dummy repo fork to move into this folder. That is, this is the GitHub repo. Okay. So once you are here, I'll make changes. So for example, some changes would be like, let's add a bunch of stars. Okay. So I made this change. I put save. So controllers. So this is the change I made to the README file. Okay. Now what I can do is, first I'll put git add. So this is the first thing. So git add means basically adding all these changes to your Git technology. So git add, and after you making git add, you put git commit -m and then a message telling what exactly happened. So I'll put first, or okay, first request, and I'll put a first request. And of course, for this, you need to refer the GitHub docs, okay? Because these comments, no one can remember fully on their own. So this is the GitHub documentation. Please make it a habit to read documentation. For anything you do in computer science, please learn and make it a habit to read the documentation, because documentations are written by the exact people who found those technology. Like they are the best people to tell you how to proceed with that technology. And it's a really good habit. Documentation is something which will be keep on updating. Like for example, you're searching in the internet what to do regarding a particular technology, that answer which is available in the internet might be outdated, but a documentation will be constantly updated as the technology gets upgraded, so that you are equipped with the latest knowledge. So for example, here someone gives so here's the documentation for how to get started with GitHub documentation and then using Git. So about Git, so we'll see what they've given in the documentation. So Git is a version control system that tracks history of changes as people and teams collaborate on projects together. And then about repositories, how GitHub works, GitHub command lines, there's so many things you can do. Okay, so
Bro, sorry to interrupt, but I guess we have come to the end.
wait. I'll just I'll push it, make a pull request. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, guys, just 6 more minutes. It's pretty easy only. Like we are almost done. Don't worry.
Proceed, bro. Please proceed.
Yeah. So basically, we put git add, and then we put this thing called as git commit first request. Just a message we are leaving. And by committing, what do you mean by commit? So commit means saving the changes. So commit means saving the changes. Okay. So I'll put this one. Did I make? Yeah. So what? Once I put the git commit, it basically says first request. That is the message I put with my while saving the changes. It says one file has changed. So yeah, I did change the README file and 3 insertions, which is basically the number of changes. I'll tell you what insertions means. So once you're done with this, the next command which you have to do is basically you have something called as branches in GitHub. So by branches, you basically have sub places or environments where you can make changes. So right now, not to complicate two things, we will be using the default main branch itself. We'll be talking about how to create other branches and how to use a workflow called as branch flow. But right now, it's enough for you guys to know that main is called as the default branch for a repository. So that you have a command called as git push origin main. And wait, there is a small catch here. If you do, you need to have the permissions. You need to have the permissions to push it first. Like you see, if you do not like, for example, if there are no permissions, nothing means one can just simply take a fork a repo and then put it. You can just keep on pushing it, right? Like there is no point, right? Like you can just take the repository. You can just simply clone the repository. Like he can clone the repo and then he can keep on pushing stuff, right? You need to have some sort of security mechanism, right? So for that, what you need to do is you basically need to go to, okay, so configuring the GitHub Git permissions. So how you do that is you go to control panel. From control panel, you put small icons, and from small icons, you put credential manager, and then you go for wait. Yeah, I'll show you exactly what I mean. So first you go to control panel, then you put here, there is a thing called as view by. Okay, so by default for you, I think for most of the Windows thing, it'll be like a category. You have to change it to small icons. Once you change it to small icons, you will have credential manager. Okay, so in credential manager, you go for Windows credentials. Okay, so I'll type it here, Windows credentials. And in Windows credentials, you guys should basically add a click this option called as add a generic credential, and add a generic credential. And in add a generic credential, you put this link. Okay, so by this link I mean git https github.com. Okay, so git https github.com. So I think that is correct. Yeah, okay, // github.com. And then here you have to give your username and password. So this is my username for my GitHub account, and I have a password, of course, for my GitHub account. So I have given the username and password, and for password you need to do one small thing. So username, give your username. For password, you need a token. Okay, so what do you mean by token is basically you go to this settings of your account. So first I'll go to the settings of my account. So this is my account. I will go to the settings here. So settings, there if I scroll down, I will see here developer settings. Okay, so developer settings, and if I go to developer settings, personal access tokens. Okay, so in personal access tokens, you go for tokens classic. Okay, so why classic, why I'm going for this is because this is a beta mode, like it is still in under construction, sort of like a beta means sort of under construction. Okay, it's not fully completed. So we'll go for tokens classic in public access tokens. Public access tokens, and then you go for tokens classic. In tokens classic, what we can do is we need to create a token. So the token will be what we give as input for password. So I'll go over generate a new token. Okay, so generate a new token classic. This token is for login purposes. Then give it as no expiration. So if I give expiration as 7 days, means it means that basically after 7 days, if a person tries to use that password, it will not work. So I'll give it as no expiration, and then I'll click everything so that I get complete access to the repository, like everything, right? I can delete packages, I can do admin, public key, repo hook. We'll discuss what repo hooks, repo args are, notification, users, delete the repository, read, write, discussion, admin, enterprise, auditing. So auditing means again a form of tracking changes, code space, copilot, project, keep on ticking everything. Like this is for full access. Of course, in real world organizations, they won't allow you to tick all of this much options, but you go ahead, you click generate the tokens. Okay, this is already taken, so I'll put login one. So generate the token. Yeah. So this is your token or password. Okay. So I have put this password here. So what you do here is you take this token. I hope you guys got generate a new token. All options. Take token and fill password field with it. So you take the token and fill the password field with it. So by that, what I mean is basically, yeah. So here, right, you click here, edit. I take this, put save. So I'll copy paste it once more. Take the token, go here, edit, save the password, done. So I have configured VS Code to work with my GitHub account. So right now we have just committed our first request, and then hopefully if I put git push, so push means loading the changes or uploading changes to GitHub. So that is what push means. And load push, wait, I'll paste the command right here, not here, here, yeah. So git push origin main means you are pushing your changes. And again, you will run into a lot of errors initially. If you, in case you run into your error, post a message here or here. And I would personally say put, I mean, not this one. Yeah, this is our other project. I will come back to it. But you can put it here or you can put it in the queries. If you put it in the queries, it is better because this is GitHub is a common technology which we'll use for all the projects. So it's sort of a general question. So if I do this, so as you can see,
bro, like
yeah,
they
yeah,
can get in the data stuff in the discussion channel itself. So
okay.
like people who know can help them too.
Yeah, exactly. So if you put it in the discussion channel means, see, for example, Avinav can come, or even other role people can come. I will come. Whoever wants to answer, they can answer these questions. So, for example, the TRC leads may come, moderators may come, some other project admins also may come. So that place is pretty okay. So after that, since we configured the permissions, this successfully got pushed. Okay. So writing objects, I will get this crazy thing. Once you are done it, now if I look at my forked repository, so remember that I forked this repository, right? If I go here, I'll come out of settings. If I go to repositories, dummy fork repo. Aha. So remember the so here you see first request. So with this means I have successfully committed or made the changes and I have pushed it to the repository. You remember that the initial, like when we forked the repository or made a copy, this star was not there, right? Now we added the star in here in VS Code. We first added those into Git. Then we committed, that is we basically saved the changes in Git. Then all the changes we made in Git, we pushed it to the GitHub repo. So I completely understand that this will be difficult for you, for people who are especially new to GitHub. Do not worry. I will put this notepad for reference. Follow the steps here and you should be fine. And again, make use of discussions and the project page, project channel. Okay. So right now I have made the changes and pushed it to my repository. Now what I want to do, this changes is fine, well and good, but it is in my copy. That is not the original dummy repo. It is in the fork of the dummy repo. That is my copy of dummy repo. So what I can do is I have this button called as contribute. In contribute, I can open something called as a pull request. So a pull request is basically you requesting the project owner to accept your changes to the project. And it's completely up to the owner whether he will accept the pull request or will reject the pull request. Okay. So right now I'm making a pull request. So this is what you called as version control. So you see, right, GitHub basically tells me that I added one extra line here between these two and an extra line here, and then I added the stars. So that's why we got this terminal message called as 3 insertions. Like where is that? Yeah, basically we got one thing called as 3 insertions. Right now the terminal is not open, but I hope you guys remember that we got. So 3 additions with 1 changed file and 0 deletions. Okay, if it's deletion means if you removed something, it will be in red color. Like what's here in green color, it will be in red color. So create a pull request, and then here I will type added stars. Stars, my bad. And then here a description, I basically added stars to my to the readme file. So once you do this, you put create pull request. Contribute, open pull request, create pull request. Once you do this, so I have created a pull request. Okay, so added stars, and then basically I'm telling that I have basically added stars to the readme file. So I am going now, as I have done my job. Now I am moving to the dark prints like this one. Okay, so if I go here, I am getting this message from this account that he basically added stars to my readme file. So now I will put merge request. Okay, so basically what you mean by merge pull request? Merge pull request means owner is accepting the changes made. Okay, so that is what you called as merge pull request. So, and of course this message means in case if for example I make some changes and that is clashing with some other part of the original code, means I'll get a warning here that it has conflicts. This green tick implies that nothing bad will happen if I accept this change. So I put merge pull request, confirm merge. So here you see I have merged the changes. Now if I look at my original dummy repo, it has stars because I have accepted the changes made. And of course, only the project owner can merge pull request. Okay. So now you guys got an idea how to contribute to projects, like what I mean by contributing code. So simply you can take a copy of the project, add code, modify code, do whatever you want. I mean, not exactly whatever you want, because there are some people, like there are some really funny stories of people taking repositories, deleting each and every line of it and trying to contribute. So don't do like that. But I hope you guys got an idea of how to contribute. Like, so this is what you mean by contributing in GitHub. This is exactly what you mean by contributing in GitHub. And in case your contribution, if suppose it's not very satisfying for me, means what I can do is, so there aren't any open pull requests. So that one is closed. By closed means I basically ended that query. If it's not good means maybe I can try to add a comment saying that this pull request is too simple. So I can put a comment here. And if I put a comment here means I can, for example, I can go and check here that, okay, he has commented it like that. And this pull request is closed. Okay. So this is exactly how you make changes in your projects. This is how contributions in GitHub work. So I hope this gave you a very basic introduction on how GitHub, Git, data pre-processing, all the necessary stuff. And before I forget, I will upload this document which I have typed, session1.txt. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so thank you all. I mean, it's really late, right? So thank you all for attending. We will be keeping sessions like this on how to contribute. So right now, I would encourage you guys to create dummy repositories or GitHub accounts. 4 repositories like what I did. I used 2 profiles, right? Use 2 profiles like that. Practice forking and contributing repositories for now. We will take a look later. Any queries regarding this? We'll end the meeting. If not,
Before we end the meeting, I kindly request everyone to just fill the form dropped under the Q&A session. Like the tab, you can see there is a form dropped over there. You can kindly fill this form before leaving.
the Q&A section is keep on loading for me. Like, is it for everyone? Is it the same case or?
Yes, it is the same case.
Yeah, like we will post this link on WhatsApp community.
Yeah, I think that
That's
is much better, to be honest. Because the Q&A section, it seems there is a problem loading. It's this thing. So
Yeah, we will try. I will try to fix that in next meeting, next section also.
yeah, okay. So thank you guys for attending. We'll announce then when we keep the next session. But please practice forking and contributing to your own repositories. That is very important. You do that. In case you have doubts, please put questions. See you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, bro.